Cunnigham joins us, and Sally, you made a mess. What's going on today?
I made a mess here. I know. I want to talk about what you do with your leaves, but I want to ask you a question first.
Okay.
What do you think, as a non-gardener,
Right,
person who lives in a nice apartment, what's compost?
Composting, I would think, is the things that fall on the ground, your leaves, your shrubs, things like that. That's what I would guess.
Yep, you're on the right track.
Okay.
Everybody with a home can be using all of your yard waste, the leaves that fall down, the twigs, all of that, the grass clippings. You could just be piling them up and making compost. I have here leaves. These are nice small ones, so you could just make a pile of these, maybe a circle of chicken wire around them to hold it together, and over time it would decompose. I love to use pine needles. I prefer to use those as a mulch over the top of the garden. Here I have my kitchen scraps. I have this morning's coffee in a coffee container, and I have leaves from my 4 little house plants that are beginning to drop some leaves. So you could use all of those things. Of course, if you're in a home setting, in the urban setting, you may not want to use your kitchen scraps, but in a country setting, we compost with all our kitchen waste too, and the end result is this magical stuff we call compost. It's black gold. It's absolutely wonderful. It's rich, and it improves your soil texture, and it also improves the life of the soil because it's full of organisms, living organisms in here. Things that you can't see are bringing the nutrition to the plants. So get out there, rake your leaves and make a pile and keep it.
So you can't beat the price either. All
That's
right,
right.
Our first call this morning comes from Joanne in Lancaster. Good morning, Joanne. What's your question?
Good morning. Sally, I have a daylily I have not planted. Is it too late? And if so, can I keep it in the garage over the winter? What would I do?
Yeah, I think if you didn't plant your perennials yet, it is kind of late. Even if we have a few warm weeks, they don't get established too well. I will put my unplanted perennials up against the house, at the base of the house on the east side where they're sheltered from wind, and after they freeze, I'll pile some of this composty stuff, the mulch around it, some leaves or something like that. So protect them. The garage might be okay too.
All right, we're going to go to Kenmore now, and Sharon. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
What's your question?
Yes, good morning, Sally. I have planted cannas in my garden, and I wanted to dig them out and save the bulbs for next year. I dug them yesterday, and the roots are quite large. Can I just store them in peat moss in a cardboard box in my basement?
Yep, this lady's been digging the cannas. Absolutely, and by the way, just because there's been some freezes, you can still dig up your dahlias and your cannas. It's not too late to do that. Store them in peat moss. The roots get huge. Some people break them apart a little. I would save the breaking apart till spring. I'd let them air dry, then put them in a box of peat moss.
All right, we also have Kristen on the line from Niagara Falls. Good morning, Kristen. What's your question?
Yes, good morning. I have some potted mums that I bought for the first time this year. Is there any way to bring them back next year, either in the pots or by planting them in the ground? Thank you.
You have a 50-50 chance. They are technically hardy mums, but it's much better, like with those perennials, if we planted them sooner. So put them against the side of the house, just like with the other perennial question. You can try to keep them. It's too late to plant them very successfully, though. Okay, everybody, I'll be talking to you next week, but get out there and use the sunshine today.
Yeah, absolutely, and rake up some of your leaves and use it.
Use it. Keep it.
All right, thanks, Sally. All right.